The 49ers all-pro wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk has officially requested a trade out of San Francisco. So, this comes after an offseason of unsuccessful attempts to reach an extension. Brandon Aiyuk, despite a recent meeting with the Niners, they haven't been willing to engage in negotiations since May. So Aiyuk has now respectfully asked out of the 49ers organization. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates, rumors, and also just NFL updates as well. Also, like the video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, what does this have to do with Pittsburgh? Well, the Steelers, they've been in the rumor mill with Brandon Aiyuk this whole offseason. Ever since day one of the offseason, when Brandon Aiyuk wanted an extension, the 49ers weren't willing to give it to him, and then the trade rumors started going around. The one team that has consistently been there surrounding it has been the Steelers, linked to Brandon Aiyuk this entire time, being linked to Deebo Samuel the entire time, being linked to any receiver on the market. It was the Steelers. And now with him officially asking out of San Francisco, it puts more of a kind of target or more of a light on the Pittsburgh Steelers as a way out for Brandon Aiyuk. So, let me just say this before I get more into the Steelers kind of topic of this video surrounding Brandon Aiyuk. Let me just say this. The 49ers, apparently, per ESPN, per Adam Schefter, they don't want to trade him. They don't want to extend him. So that kind of leaves a problem there. They don't want to do either. They don't want to trade him. They don't want to sign him. So what do they plan on doing? We're just playing out his contract and next season have him walk in for free? Maybe. But that's the plan that ESPN has reported that the situation is with Brandon Aiyuk right now. Brandon Aiyuk has made it clear that he either wants an extension or he wants to be traded because he wants that extension with either the Niners or with a different team. And when you look at Brandon Aiyuk, what he's said all offseason, he's made it clear his top two choices, if it can't be finding a deal with the Niners. His top two choices, he already announced, has been the Washington Commanders with his best friend, quarterback Jaden McDaniels, or the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are the two teams that he's named that if it's not the 49ers that he could play with next season, one of those two teams would be the options for him, he believes. Another thing is with the 49ers in the past, last season for example, Deebo Samuel, he asked for a trade out of San Francisco. In the past as well, Robbie Gould, their kicker, has asked out of San Francisco, both via trade. They wanted out because they couldn't come to contract extension terms, but then once they both asked out, the contract negotiations started to pick up, and then the Niners both agreed to contracts with those two guys. So after they asked out, that's when they agreed to a contract. Maybe that happens once again with Brandon Aiyuk asking out. Maybe then now the negotiations will start to pick up because now it's actually official that he wants out. Instead of all the rumors surrounding him, all the agents surrounding him, all the media surrounding him saying that he wants out. It was never official. Well, now it's official. Brandon Aiyuk has asked out per NFL Network and ESPN. The thing with the San Francisco 49ers is Brandon Aiyuk wants like around $30 million. And the San Francisco 49ers, they already have a high paid offense. The only person who they could really not pay is their quarterback because he's someone who's still in that rookie contract and he'll be on that rookie contract a long time. And he's not making anywhere close to even the minimum for a contract for a quarterback. So their quarterback is being paid so low that it allows them to pay other people. But they are paying Christian McCaffrey the top money for a running back. They're paying George Kittle basically the top money for a tight end. They're also paying Deebo Samuel around like $25 million a year. That's a lot of money for a wide receiver, a second wide receiver as well. And then paying another receiver $30 million. And then eventually they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy down the road in 2 or 3 seasons. So they can't pay every single player. And that's why they're probably on this kind of payroll in terms of they don't want to pay him. Also, they're paying Trent Williams, their left tackle, probably the most money for a left tackle in the league. So they're paying this whole offense so much money that they don't want to go down the road of paying 2 wide receivers and putting another burden on them for trying to get out of the salary cap in a few seasons. So they're probably trying to make adjustments or go down a route where they don't have to go through that pain with the contracts, with the salary cap in a few years. That's why they probably don't want to pay Brandon Aiyuk $30 million and only want to pay him like 25 or less, I would believe. Also, you look at the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they could go the route of a tag and trade route next season as well, where they could franchise tag Brandon Aiyuk, I believe. I think that's still allowed in his contract. They could still do that. So they could franchise tag him after this season as well. So he would only be on a 1-year extension. Anyway, let's move over to the Pittsburgh Steelers side of this news. Because what does this have to do involving Pittsburgh? Well, the Steelers, right now, they have cleared up cap space. They cleared a cap space before the draft. They cleared Alex Highsmith's contract when they restructured it. And in an interview done months later, or at the combine, wherever it was, Omar Khan said the reason why they cleared the cap space at the combine or at the draft, before the draft, was because they were ready to be open to options, whether that's via trade or adding a new player. They want to have all options on the table available, and that's why they created that cap space. So that cap space is still not enough to sign Brandon Aiyuk if they do trade for him, but that allows them to have options to kind of restructure someone else's contract to create that cap space. So you look at that, and that's a possibility because of it. Obviously, the Steelers were ready to make a move back then, and they could be ready to make a move now. And the thing is, though, the Steelers have been wanting another receiver, too. When you look at it, they've been in the rumors, and they're just not in the rumors. Even reports have come out saying the Steelers are ready to trade for another receiver. Whether that was Deebo Samuel being in the mix for maybe that they were calling for DK Metcalf. That was a report earlier in the offseason. Maybe even Courtland Sutton. Now, obviously, Brandon Aiyuk was the big name. But the thing is, though, in my personal opinion, surrounding Brandon Aiyuk, why would the Steelers want to trade for Brandon Aiyuk? They're going to have to give up a first-round draft pick, potentially. If not a first-round draft pick, probably a second or third, or maybe two of them combined, who knows. And then you would have to pay him $30 million per year over the next 4 seasons. And when looking at that, you look at George Pickens, for example. In 2 years now, he is going to be up for a contract. And then the Steelers are going to be in the same situation as the 49ers. Pat Freiermuth is up for a contract after this season. Najee Harris is up for a contract after this season. And then, even down the road, they're going to have to pay a quarterback. Russell Wilson's not always going to be making the minimum. They're going to eventually have to pay a quarterback as well, whether that's Justin Fields or another guy. They're eventually going to have to pay a quarterback. So you're really going to pay 2 wide receivers $30 million each. Meaning George Pickens probably going to end up making $30 million. Are you going to pay Brandon Aiyuk $30 million? You have to pay a running back, you have to pay a tight end, you have to pay a quarterback. Are you going to pay all those guys that much money? Or are you going to just stick to rookie deals and just have to get a rookie every single time to fill out your roster to save against the salary cap? What does that mean? Well, obviously, rookies are a cheaper contract. So are you going to have to fill your team out with vet minimums or rookie deals because you're paying the offense too much? Or are you going to go the route of paying your own guys first and not trade for Brandon Aiyuk? I believe it's too much to trade for Brandon Aiyuk. $30 million plus draft capital is just too much at this point. If the draft capital wasn't involved, sure, you can make it work with salary. But because the draft capital is in play, draft capital, the Steelers have hit on wide receivers in the past in the draft. So if you've been really good at drafting receivers, why go out and trade for a receiver when you could just draft them in the draft with the draft capital that you would give up to San Francisco? That's just my opinion on it. Obviously, Brandon Aiyuk's a really good receiver, really good route runner, really good blocker. But sometimes you have to be logical about the situation, and I believe it's just not a good case scenario for the Steelers to make this trade. Even though they've been in the rumors, Brandon Aiyuk wants to play for the Steelers, and he wants to have that contract extension, I just think the Steelers should not do it. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this topic. Brandon Aiyuk has officially asked out of the San Francisco 49ers organization. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on, do you think the Steelers should trade for Brandon Aiyuk? Do you want them to? Do you think this opens the door now because it's official that he's asked for a trade? Do you think this brings back the rumors and the rumor mill with the Steelers being surrounded in the situation? Would you want him to go to Steelers? Would you want the Steelers to give up all this to get him? Or do you believe, like I believe, they should hold off on it and not do it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. I covered everything this offseason, and I'll continue to cover all the rumors and the actual news that happens as well, and all the highlights and analysis of training camp next week when it starts. So stay tuned to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.